Good morning. I'm Marlin Lavanhar.
And I'm Randy Lewis, and on behalf of the entire ministry team, we welcome you to The Point.
Yeah, we want to welcome everybody who's online as well. We got people from across the country and around the world who are with us, so welcome to you as well.
Yes, and if you're a first-time guest with us or new to All Souls, we have a special gift in welcoming you here. Our usher is here, and if you raise your hand, just keep it up until right back there, you'll get that gift. And we invite you immediately after the service to a special meet and greet in the Sonnen Library that's right outside the back doors there to your left. And so if you're new to All Souls or a first-time guest, we'll look forward to meeting you then.
I see Lady Gina Pearson's with us. What a joy to have you here today. Beautiful. And Majesty Pearson, who's going to be singing for us later. What a joy. Thank you all for being with us.
Now, I invite you now to join us for our covenant that's printed in your order of service. Love
is the spirit of this church, and service is its law. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another. Welcome to All Souls, where we love beyond belief. All right. I think our choir has a song for us.
With a voice of singing, declare ye this, and let it be heard. Alleluia. Declare ye this, declare ye this, and let it be heard. Alleluia.
That was beautiful. You know, the choir last night did a Broadway kind of all kinds of Broadway music, and we got to hear soloists from the choir singing. You all sounded amazing last night. You sound great this morning. What a joy to have you here. And, this is kind of exciting because this service started out feeling like we're in some big ancient cathedral somewhere in a really holy church service. And you can feel that organ and the choir singing. And I often think that if people come into, this is the point service at All Souls. This is our humanist hour here at All Souls. And I often think, this is a place for seekers of all kinds, and agnostics and atheists, and folks who are skeptics, and folks who doubt, and folks who are looking for and seeking what they believe. And I often think that if somebody came in here and they plugged their ears so that they couldn't hear, and they just looked around and they saw the pews and they could see the choir singing and everything, that they might think that they're in a traditional kind of a congregation. But if they unplug their ears and listen to what we have to say, it's a very different kind of service and a different kind of feel. And I'm glad you're here this morning. I've asked Jean Ann Fauser to come forward and light our chalice this morning. The chalice is the symbol of the Unitarian Universalist tradition worldwide. And it's a symbol that combines two things, both the cup of community and the flame of freedom. Because this is a community in which we are free to be ourselves and to believe and to live as we find best. So Jean Ann, thank you for lighting our chalice. Jean Ann has been a part of this congregation for over 5 decades. Yeah, she's raised children, grandchildren here. She's been a leader in so many different capacities. But right now, most recently, about 1.5 years ago, I asked her and her husband Tom if they would help lead our capital campaign, because we got to repair and restore this building a bit. And so she and her husband Tom said yes, they would do it. They've been helping us. Today we're going to kick it off officially in a public way, so you'll hear a little bit more about that in a minute. But Jean Ann, thank you for all that you've done. Tom, who passed away recently, he said to us, carry on. I wanted to see this to completion, and we told him we would make sure it happened, and that he would be remembered, when we get there. So thank you, Jean Ann, for being here and lighting our chalice this morning.
We light this chalice for the home we are building here together, not only for ourselves, but for those we may never meet. May this flame awaken generosity within us, so love and belonging will live here for generations to come.
My name is Lee Rumley. Today we're talking about our beloved All Souls home and our plans of renovating this special house and building on the strong foundation that already exists. And I have a story about building together called What We'll Build, Our Plans for Our Future Together by Oliver Jeffers. What shall we build, you and I? Let's gather our tools for a start, for putting together and taking apart. Let's build a door where there was none. We'll build a house to be our home. I'll build a future, and you'll build mine. We'll build a watch to keep our time. We'll build some love to set aside and build a hole where we can hide. A fortress to keep our enemies out and higher walls for when they shout. But you don't always lose, and you don't always win, so we'll build a gate to let them in. We'll build a table to drink our tea and say, I'm sorry, me too, me three. We'll build a tower to watch the sky and other worlds that pass us by. Let's build a tunnel to anywhere. Let's build a road up to the moon. Let's build a comfy place to rest, for we'll all be tired soon. A place to stay when all is lost, to keep the things we love the most. But first things first, let's build a fire, for we've planned a lot, and now we're tired. It'll keep us warm, like when we're born. Then we'll say good night, as all is right. What shall we build? You and I? I'll build your future, and you'll build mine. Now our children and youth can go to class and share their hopes and dreams about our future together.
In this present moment, we come open, wide, open to the care and concern we have for one another in this community. In times of difficulty, we have each other to share our life's joys and concerns. Today we hold space and offer condolences to Bill and Mark Westcott and family on the loss of longtime member, wife and mother Janet Adams Westcott, who passed away on Sunday, February 15th. We hold space today for all those in our community recovering from illnesses or in hospital or on hospice or facing new and ongoing health challenges. We especially lift up Morgan Decker, who is in the hospital. We extend our well wishes for a full recovery, and we hold his parents, Cindy and Jason, and his grandparents, Julie and Jerry Gustafson, in our care and concern. We hold space today for Lynn Burson on the death of her friend Pete Finney, and Becky Ostentowski, who's in the middle of chemo treatments. Jamie Biggs, friend Michelle, Jan Stepien Pollack, wife's health. And congratulations are in order for member and new grandmother Carolyn Lambert, and for the proud parents Reed and Emma on the birth of Camille Olivia, born on February 19th. We pause in this moment. Breath meets body, light meets earth. In heavy days, we draw close. We are not meant to walk this life alone. When anxiety rises, we stand with one another. We steady one another. When sorrow comes, we show up. When the load feels too heavy, we reach out. We are not looking for easy roads. We are looking for people who remain, people who are there when the weight grows heavy. If freedom has meaning here in this place, it is the freedom to care openly and to build belonging where division grows. May we stay open. May we stay generous. May we stay connected. As we enter into a brief moment of silence, let us hold one another with tenderness and with resolve.
build a land where we bind up the broken. We'll build a land where the captives go free, where the oil of gladness dissolves all mourning. Oh, we'll build a promised land that can be. We'll build a land where we bring the good tidings to all the afflicted and all those who mourn. And we'll give them garlands instead of ashes. Oh, we'll build a land where peace is born. Beautiful. Thank you all. Yeah, I'm just feeling that, I kind of came in a little revved up, but after your, hearing your words and that music, I just, my whole nervous system just feels a little calmer. I hope I sense maybe I'm not alone. It just sort of letting it rest in safety, in a safe space where we don't have to do anything. We just could be here and be alive. And it's, I just want to say again, Gina Pearson, what a joy to have you with us, especially on this Sunday, because we're talking about the love of home. And when you and Bishop Pearson came into this home, you made it a better place. You made it a warmer place. You made it a more friendly place and a more spiritually alive place. And so we're so grateful to you. And Majesty was just in middle school, and she's been singing here since she was, a wee little child. Now she's gone, of course, around the country singing with Stevie Wonder and all kinds of gospel groups, and just, she's making a name for herself nationwide, like her daddy. And now you're here to sing for us about being home and being back, and we just want to welcome you home to All Souls. The campaign team that's been putting together this capital campaign that we're launching publicly today, they put together a short video, like a two or 3 minute video, just to kind of announce the campaign, and I want you all to see it, so we're going to just play it real quick before Majesty sings.
All Souls has shaped Tulsa for more than a century, not by chance, but by courage and generosity, by being a champion for justice before it was popular, by choosing inclusion before it was common, sometimes before it was even legal. All Souls opened its doors to every family, every identity, every belief. Because of that bold vision, countless people have found belonging here. Families grew here, leaders were formed here, lives were transformed here.
3 generations of my family grew up in this church. Now my daughters are the 4th. That's what legacy looks like.
For us, All Souls is the place that accepts us and nourishes us together as a couple, and we can thrive in a big community with so many other supportive people, and we're proud to be members of All Souls.
When Tulsa needs a place to gather, to heal, to organize for justice, All Souls always shows up. This is faith in action.
This building has never been just walls. It has been a foundation for love, for service, for Tulsa. And today, in a world that is changing so rapidly, this campaign ensures that our spiritual home will remain for the generations to come. The next generation deserves a building that matches the strength of our mission, accessible, welcoming, sustainable, and ready for the work ahead.
With your generosity and help, we can renew this home for the next 100 years of ministry. For every soul who will walk through these doors needing love, courage, and connection.
Most of us walked into All Souls and it was already here, thanks to other people. This is our generation's chance to do our part. In supporting this campaign, you are investing in a future where All Souls continues to lead in love, in justice, in community, and in hope. There's no place like home, and at All Souls, we are building the future.
No place like home. Yes, we come from the light, we carry the light, and we are headed towards the light. I'm so grateful. Mom, thank you. You, my original home. Shout out to the mothers. Blessings to you. I appreciate it. When I think of home, I think of a place where there's love overflowing. I wish I was home. I wish I was back there with the things I've been knowing. When that makes the tall grass bend into leaning, and suddenly the raindrops that fall have a meaning, sprinkling the seed. It makes it all so clear. Well, maybe there's a chance for me to go back now that I have some direction. It would sure be nice to be back home where there's love and affection. And just maybe I can convince time to slow up, giving me enough time in my life to grow up. Time, be my friend and let me start again. Well, suddenly my world's gone and changed its face, but I still know where I'm going, towards the light. I have had my mind spun around in space, and yet I've watched it grow. God, please don't make it hard to know if we should believe in the things that we see. Oh, tell us, should we try and stay? Should we run away? Or would it be better just to let things be? Living here in this brand new world, it might be a fantasy. Oh, but it's on me, it's on you, it's on us to love, so we know it's real to you and me. And I've learned that we must look inside our hearts to find a world full of love like yours, like mine. Like
It's great to have Rick Fortner back, too. How about that? Yeah. It's really nice to be here. This is home for me, a home away from home, a part of my sense of family and part of my grounding and being alive in the world is this place, this community. I've been gone for about 4 Sundays. If you haven't noticed, that's not good. But no, I've been gone because my mom, 89-and-a-half-year-old mom, she died on January 30th. And so I've been kind of going through that. And I'm so fortunate to have colleagues like Randy and Nicole who've just done a great job in my absence. But 89 and a half, that's long enough for someone's fingerprints to touch many lives. And my mom, she really did, and certainly mine in so many ways. And I have to say that the grief has been deeper and more disorienting than I think I expected. I kind of feel like I'm a semi-expert in grief at this point. And yet, when it's your mom, it feels a little different. It hits a little different, as they say. I realized that losing a parent is like losing a lifelong relationship. And someone who's been a witness to your entire life. When you said my mom, my original home, I was thinking that, Majesty, you meant, 9 months. That was your home. Her body, your body. It's amazing. And I take comfort that my mom lives on in the ways that she loved me, in the ways that she shaped me, in the ways that she taught me how to love others. And I imagine I'll be spending the rest of my life discovering new ways that she shaped me. Nicole, who's not with us this morning on the chancel, but she did a wonderful eulogy for my mom right here, up here on this chancel on Monday, and just did a tremendous job. See, I've known Nicole for little over 25 years. I officiated at her wedding with her husband. I had the privilege, honor to eulogize her husband when he died a little over a year ago. So we've shared a lot of really important moments in each other's lives, and to have her do that service, and I think for my mom, having a woman minister do that service meant something special. And so I'm just so glad that she could do it. And I watched all the services while I was gone, and when I say I have amazing colleagues, I mean, they did a fabulous job, and I'm just so thankful for them. And I have to say that my whole family just felt so well cared for during this experience. Early on, when my mom was first in the hospital, we didn't know she was going to be dying, but I reached out to our pastoral care ministers who helped and supported her. And then when we moved to the point where we had to move to hospice care, I called our parish nurses here just to find out, now here's my options, and can you help me kind of make sure I'm doing this right and set this up? And it just felt so good to have people I could call who I knew were on my side, who were going to help me figure out how to do this well for my family in a time when, you're just so frazzled. And then, I've always felt like we do memorial services well here at All Souls. I like how we do that, and part of it is that we don't try to make it about theology and the afterlife and all, but some services I go for a funeral, and it feels like it's not about the person at all. It's like an infomercial for Jesus. And I'm like, what are we doing here? I thought we were here to celebrate somebody's life, and yet you're making it about something completely else. But we really focus on celebrating the life of the person. And I was just so thankful in the midst of all that to have this congregation, the staff and the volunteers who make the memorials happen, to care for us. They just, from the moment, you're having this big life event, major life event, you're inviting all your closest friends and family, And you're like, I want this to be done well. I want them to feel welcome. I want them to feel good. And just from the time people walked in the door and our volunteer crew was greeting them and our staff putting out the reception for them, and of course the service and the music, it was just phenomenal from start to finish. And I felt so proud of this place, and I felt so taken care of. And I realize now, having gone through this and so recently, that it really makes a difference to have a community to hold you when you're in a place like that, and to have a community that cares so deeply about these moments and about one another. But I have to say that I'm really excited to be back on this chancel today, also because so many special events in my life have happened here. And when I was installed as a minister at All Souls, a little over 25 years ago, the minister emeritus, Reverend Dr. John Wolfe, stood up in the pulpit here at All Souls, and he said, he delivered the charge to the congregation. That's the job that someone has to tell the congregation, what's your job in all this installation of a new minister? You know, there's someone who gives the minister a charge, what's your job, and now what's your job? And what he said, the job of this congregation was, he said many brilliant things, really. But among them, he said this chancel and this pulpit specifically is the freest place anywhere. The freest place anywhere. Meaning that the ministers and the speakers who speak on this chancel have the freedom to speak the truth in love to the best of their ability to know it and to understand it without fear. A place where the freest expression of doubt and faith and conviction and yearning and truth and opinion can be spoken aloud without a creedal test, without dogmas or doctrine, without any article of faith to say, well, it has to agree with this, regardless of maybe what you experienced or what you think or feel. And he looked out at the congregation that day and he said, this is the freest pulpit anywhere in the world. And he said, your most important job is to protect it, to keep it that way, to make sure that somewhere in this earth there will always be a place where somebody can come and speak freely on matters of religion and thought, and whether it's politics or anything that needs to be spoken, that there's a place where it can be spoken, and your job as the congregation is to protect the freedom of this pulpit. And I remember shortly after that service, an elderly woman came up to me and she said, Marlin, I don't always agree with what you say from the All Souls pulpit, but I'll tell you, I would take a bullet to make sure that you had the freedom to say it. And I think she meant it. She's a feisty lady. And I think she would do it if she had to. She understood the importance of this place for the freest expression of religion and thought. And I think we all feel it, especially in times like this that we're living through, that we need to protect a place where someone can speak the truth, no matter what, without fear. And I'm also glad to be here because all three of my babies were dedicated right here on this chancel. The picture that you see up there is my son, just a little over 25 years ago, Elias, being dedicated. And then my oldest daughter, we memorialized her here on this chancel on one of the most meaningful and heartbreaking days of my life after she died at the age of 3. And her ashes have become a part of the soil that nourishes that tree right outside this window. And as of Monday, my mom's ashes have joined hers and those of so many people who I've come to know and love. The children's story that we heard a little while ago, it began and ended with these words. What can we build, you and I? I'll build your future, and you build mine. The people who came before us in this place, they didn't know us, and yet they helped build our future. And we have helped to preserve their legacy and to build on it. And we are helping to build the future of people who will come after us, who we will never know, but who will be changed by what you and I are doing. And they will be the ones who will preserve and build on our legacy. I'm really thinking about legacy after, losing my mom and saying, what does a life mean? What contributions do we make that go on long after we're gone? Have we made a difference? Have we made the world better in some way by what we have done in our time in this life? And today, I think, we mentioned it. We're going to be launching a $14 million capital campaign to restore and renovate and update this building and this congregation and this community. And I hope that every one of us will do some significant part to make that possible as a legacy to the future. Because we do this together. When we do this together, we're doing it as an act of faithfulness to the people who came before us. They sacrificed. In fact, they risked scorn and ridicule to build a congregation this free and open in this city and state, because they felt Tulsa needed a progressive religious voice in order to be a healthy city. And they were right. I can't even imagine Tulsa without the presence of All Souls. Now, in the early years, the people, they moved from place to place. They first started meeting in the old city hall downtown on the 3rd floor, playing what was considered at the time the most abused piano in Oklahoma. You would have hated it, Madge. But they were determined. And then they moved to what was the original YWCA building, and eventually to Temple Israel, where the Jewish community took them in and said, you can meet here. They meet on Friday nights and Saturdays, so we met on Sunday. And so for 2 years, we met, under the support of the Jewish community of Temple Israel here in Tulsa. And then, after that, we outgrew that. We moved to the Majestic Movie Theater, which this is back in the 20s. So it was silent films, and they had an organ right there in the theater. And so we had organ music, and it was large, and we grew and grew at the Majestic Theater. We just had to be out in time for the matinee, the Sunday matinee. And for a long time, the Unitarian minister from Oklahoma City would drive down here over dirt roads in these old, some of the earliest cars, getting over here to be here for Sunday evenings, because he agreed that this city needed this kind of a voice, this kind of an expression of freedom. And finally, we built the first church building on 14th and Boulder, and it was beautiful, and it still is. It's now a Fitzgerald's Funeral Home, if you've ever been by there. It was a prime part. They call that Cathedral Row in Tulsa, where lots of congregations are. And they raised the money to build that church. It was in the midst of the Great Depression, but they felt it was that important. Their future was unsecure, but they made it happen. And they did it because they knew that it was part of their legacy in this city, in this world. But years later, when they realized that that building was now too small, especially for the children, and what's the point of a church if you don't have a place for the children? And so they left that prime location in downtown Tulsa, and they moved to this much less attractive, undeveloped piece of land right here. And they had to scrape to come up with the money to build this place. But they did because they had a mission and they knew it. And so do we. And if you don't really understand the depth and the importance of the mission of this place, then I have failed in my job. This congregation is not just about us. It's not really about us. It's about a light that we tend and are called to pass on to the next generation. It's about freedom. It's about freeing the oppressed, not just the politically oppressed, like we did during the civil rights movement, or like we did during the women's rights movement, or later during the gay rights movement. And now we are doing more and more in support of the immigrant community. We do it in our work in the public schools of Tulsa as we strive to give every child the freedom to learn and to excel. And we do it when we start microcredit banks throughout Central America. We've started over 40 banks, I think maybe over 50 now, in which we're helping the poorest on earth to become free of the debilitating cycles of hunger and poverty and prostitution. First and foremost, however, it is about spiritual and religious freedom. Freeing people from the dominant notion that they are depraved and sinful to their core. Freeing people from doctrines that teach children a worldview that not only shames them about their own eternal nature, about their own beautiful, blessed bodies and lives and minds, but also denies scientific truth and breeds spiritual arrogance. Arrogance that their religion is superior and right, and all others are perversions of God's truth. Freeing people from religious ideologies that say that women are less than men, that Jews and Hindus and Muslims and Buddhists and agnostics are misguided, that being gay and transgender is an abomination. We tend a light in this world. With our lives, we breathe a warmth into this cold earth. And we do it with love beyond belief. Some people think we're doing this project to upgrade the heating and cooling system of the church. And indeed, we do need to do that. And some people think it's all about the bathrooms, because we need some new bathrooms in this church. And some people think it's about the classrooms for the children or for the choirs. And some people think it's about the environment, trying to make sure we do our part for the environment. And a whole bunch of other concrete reasons, which all are also true. But we are not doing this to fix what's broken. We are doing this to strengthen what's eternal. Freedom, equality of all people, the truth as it is discovered, whatever it says, not being limited by creeds and doctrines and ideologies that make us smaller and divide us. My wife and I are making the largest gift we've ever made to anything ever in our lives, by far, to this project, because we believe in it. We believe that this is our time and our chance to tend the light of religious freedom that has been given to us by others who've come before. Almost every one of us walked into this place and it just existed. It was just here because of the sacrifice and the generosity of people who came before us. And now this is our generation's time to do our part, to be faithful to them and to those who will come after us. You know, spiritual homes do not tend themselves. They're tended by the love of the people who care about them and by those who understand why they matter. So the opportunity, and let's just call it what it is, the responsibility to care and keep up this place. It's about being faithful to those who came before, those who sacrificed so much so that Tulsa would have this place to do what it does. And it's about being faithful to those future generations who will not fully know what we've done, but whose lives will forever be changed and who will thank us for it. Our mission calls us to take this step at this time. Our entire board of trustees have all pledged to support this congregation. Our entire staff has pledged. They're not all even members here, but they believe in this place and what it stands for, and they've given. And now it's up to each of us to figure out, what's my part? What can I do to make this happen? I am so happy to let you know that over the last year and a half, Jean Ann and I and a small group of people have been out trying to raise some funds just to test, can we raise $14 million? And time again, people have told me they are giving the largest gift they've ever given to anything in their lives, but they see this as part of their legacy and something they can do that long after they're gone, their values will exist in the world. And so we have already raised, I almost have to swallow before I say this, $12.3 million towards the 14th. I know, it's amazing. So we are now a wee little $1.7 million away from our goal. And that's where the rest of us come in, that we just need to see what we can do. And if we all do it and we do what we can and we do it together, I know we can get there. And we can make this place something special and feel really good about it. Yes, we can. So I want you to consider, if you love this place, to join me in possibly making the largest gift you've ever given to anything. I've realized in doing that it makes me feel really good that I've stretched and I'm sacrificing and I'm making this an important use of my giving. I realized they used to say give until it hurts. And I realized, when it hurts, it's probably because we feel guilty because we didn't give enough. We're kind of, I'm just doing this little part. I'm letting other people carry the weight. But when we do our part and say, hey, I've stretched to make this possible, it makes us feel really good. And we know that we're making a difference. And it's because we have a mission. We have a purpose to make sure that this light, which we tend but did not kindle, will not and shall never be put out. Can I hear an amen? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you all.
We are building a new way. We are building a new way. We are building a new way. Feeling stronger every day. We are building a new way.
Before we leave, we're going to take up a little offering. We do this every week, and we give the offering away. Today's offering is going to go to a fantastic organization called the Community Pride Garden School, where they teach people how to grow food, how to cook food, how to live healthy lives. They do this in some of the poorest areas of our city. And so I want you to give generously, knowing that your gift, whatever you give today into the collection plate, is going to go and it's going to support somebody who really needs it to live a healthier, happier life. So please give generously. I want to mention, if you're here and you got a program, there's 3 great things coming up. We've got this week the leadership retreat. And everybody here is a leader, so you're all welcome to come. We're going to learn a lot, and we're going to grow together. On March 1st, we got the men's group's doing a chili cook-off, and with games, bingo, and raffle. It's going to be a lot of fun. All right. We got some. It's not just men who are cooking. We got people of all different people cooking chili in this competition. It's a fierce competition around here, and the chili's good. So come on out and be a part of that. It's a lot of fun. We say a congregation that plays together stays together. So we're going to have some fun. And then on March 7th, the women's group is doing a retreat. It's Saturday, next week from Saturday. It's going to be really, really good. So you want to come out and be a part of that if you identify as a woman, and you're not going to want to miss that. Now, before we take up the collection, I just want to show you a few pictures of what we're going to do in part of what we're going to do in this renovation. So this is going to be to open it, the foyer. We're opening it up, making it much more lighter, brighter, bigger, so that we'll have a lot more space, bringing in light from Peoria. We'll have a patio out there. I'll show you that in a second, so that we'll be able to walk out the foyer and have some outdoor space. But this is the children's lounge. We're going to remodel the children's lounge and put a second floor deck out there, so we have indoor, outdoor spaces for the kids and families. The deck will actually go down, have a stairwell down to a private, protected playground that the kids can play in. It's going to be really nice. Next, you'll see that our chapel, our small children's chapel, we're going to take out those really uncomfortable pews. I know you love them. But we're going to take those out and put in some nicer chairs, do some updating of that, because we use it for weddings and memorials and lots of different use. But it also will allow us to move the chairs. We can do Tai Chi in there and yoga and, all kinds of different things. We can have a worship service in a circle instead of, in lines facing forward. So lots of different things, meditation and other things. So it's going to be a really special spiritual space for us. I'm really looking forward to that. And then finally, one of the other pictures we have is of this front yard, which we used a lot more during the pandemic because we needed outdoor spaces. We're going to make a really nice patio out there so we can have events. People with walkers and wheelchairs can be out there, and also fence in an area and put some shade so kids are safe when they're out there. They're not going to run into Peoria or anything. And we can do more events out there, both indoor, outdoor. We can have parties at night in Emerson, but spill out into the patio space. So we're going to do some really nice things to make the community better. But every part of this church is going to be touched, every wing. Some places it's lighting and walls being finished, but everywhere is going to have something new and refreshed. So it's a big project. It's a huge thing. We've had a lot of deferred maintenance over the years, but we're going to make it beautiful. So now let us take up our offering for the wonderful Community Pride Garden School. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. We have I got to tell you, we have a little monitor up here where we can see kind of what's going on the screen. It's brand new. And I noticed that Gina Pearson was fanning Rick Fortner, which high praise about like, wow, Rick, you are hot today. I love it. I love it. I just, what's that? That's right. Hey, I want to just hear Jean Ann, if you would just come up and just say a word about why you and Tom took on this project and what this means to you. Just a short minute from you, because it's so inspiring.
Well, as Marlin mentioned, we've been here for more than 5 decades. Raised our children here, grandchildren. This place is so important to all of us. It's a safe space. It's a nurturing space. We still have 1.7 million we need to raise. We can do this together. We can do it over a 5-year period of time. I know we all want to keep this a safe place, a welcoming place in Tulsa, Oklahoma. So important right now, especially.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, that's a good point. That many of us, we're going to make our gift over 5 years so that we can space it out and we can do more than we would be able to otherwise. So think about what you can do. Thank you all for being here, for loving this place, for caring about this, for tending this light and tending this home. There's no place like All Souls. As you go out into this day, go in peace. Have courage. Hold on to what is good. Return to no person evil for evil. Strengthen the faint-hearted, support the weak, help the suffering, honor all life. But most of all, go and be loved and be loving. Thank you.